Alright everyone, today I'd like to quickly talk about my TT30 Russian service pistol. Now, this is a bit more of an unusual example actually. It was not only made in 1935, so it's an interwar pistol, but it actually has a bit of a journey around continental Europe. So you may notice here, not only has it got a Hungarian pistol grip on it for some whatever reason, maybe it's been replaced by the Hungarian military, or maybe just a dealer put one on because they found one cheap, but it's got a lot of different markings from different proof houses. Now, I know one for a fact is Italian, but I could not tell you what the different ones are, so you know, it's very interesting to say the least. I mean, it has had a bit of a journey. It's an old pistol, but despite the fact of its age, it is in pretty good condition. Now, in terms of the original finish, the blue ink, I just had to unfortunately remove that because it was so bad when I got the pistol. It was starting to go like a blue-orange colour, like it was almost corroding, and there was some pitting on it. I mean, mechanically, it was in great condition. It was just the finish, really, that let it down, so I did have to polish it off with some steel wall hand blue remover. It does look a bit too clinical, I will admit that, but I don't know, it is what it is for the time being, and I can decide what to do with it in the future. I don't have to worry about, you know, anything corroding or rusting on it now at the very least. So this pistol, it was arguably one of the most underrated pistols of the Second World War. It was very effective based on a John Browning design, and it fired probably one of the most criminally underrated rounds of the Second World War. Now the 7.62 by 25, I would say it had the power of like a 9mm, but it was so fast. It was in terms of feet per second, it was a very hot round. Now, I actually heard stories that some 45 ACP could sometimes get caught up in some of the really heavy padded German woolen clothing. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but the 45 ACP was a very slow round, especially when we're talking about, you know, in the 1940s period when the powder may not have been as efficient and whatnot. The bullets may have been a bit heavier. So it's a slow round, but in comparison this is a very fast and nippy little round, so it gets the job done. Now the pistol itself, I would say, is not uncommon at the very least. I mean, they made millions of these, and then they also sold the blueprints to countries like Yugoslavia and China. So you will find many different variants of these out there. There's also a variant, I believe Military Arms Channel put a video out, which also, it was a bit longer in the pistol grip frame, and it actually held an additional round. So in terms of variety out there, there are so many of these pistols. As you can imagine, with a pistol of this age, it only fires from a single action. Now, I don't know why, but the trigger doesn't always pull the first time. I've always thought that was a safety feature. Maybe it's just something faulty with this one. But I have to say, it's a very pretty pistol to look at, I think. I mean, maybe not for everyone, but I just prefer the old, you know, whole steel, you know, pistols. You felt weighty, like you were holding a gun in your hand. I mean, I know all the modern polymers are great and whatnot, but I've got to admit, I'm very partial to the old pistols. TT30 was later replaced by the TT33, which was updated ever so slightly, which was then in sense replaced by the Makarov in 1950, I believe it was, or 1951. But these are still great pistols. A lot of Americans love shooting them. They can get them for pretty cheap, and they're very effective. Still do the job. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. And I suppose if you're in the States and you see one for sale, I mean, I would pick one up, because these will probably in some time increase in value as many of them corrode and erode away and become less common. I mean, it's like the SKSs in America right now. I think at one point in like the 80s, 90s, they were $90. Now they're shooting up to $500+. So, you know, they definitely are a good investment for the long term. Anyway, that was just like a quick show off really. I didn't really go into technical specifications. If you wanted to see all that, I do have a full disassembly video of this pistol. Just like a quick show and tell really. Thanks for watching.